All right, so closing things off now. Now we have the latest entry in the DCEU, and I would say one that is a welcome addition to the modern superhero movie genre as it is right now. Shazam, which
Yeah.
is not which is ironic. Well, I was about to say kind of ironic. It came out the same year as Captain Marvel. It comes right after Captain Marvel because yes,
Right.
Shazam is supposed to be Captain Marvel, right? We talked about this with the Captain Marvel review. Basically with copyright issues and all that kind of jazz.
That
But yeah,
was, yeah, that was weird long history. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, well, we have Aquaman, you have Nemo, I have Captain
Right.
Marvel, you have
Right.
Captain Marvel.
Right.
All right,
Right.
okay, I'll be Shazam, right? Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was really excited for this. For one thing, I really like the light-hearted tone of the trailers, which was a nice little diversion because, like, the movie itself is not all too light-hearted. But I'll talk about that later on. The director, David F. Sandberg, I mean, he directed, the great Lights Out. Well, great in terms
Yeah.
of just that crowd-pleasing horror film, basically, and Annabelle creation, which I really enjoyed, seeing that
Okay.
the first Annabelle sucked ass. So, yeah,
Yeah.
really enjoyed Annabelle creation. So, really glad that he got on board with a superhero film. And
Right.
more of the moderately budgeted superhero films. You could compare this to, Deadpool, the first Deadpool, you know, and how that played out. You could easily see that this kind of is similar to Deadpool in many ways in terms of
Right.
just the world it's set in and just the how
Yeah.
quote unquote grounded in realism it is.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, this is within the whole DCEU, so they do uh mention they do mention Batman and Superman and Aquaman. I
Right.
made a joke on Facebook like how Aquaman have merch all of a sudden, like
Right.
you you know what I mean like this, but it's really it doesn't take you out of the film. It's just like yeah, this is in a world where the Justice League characters exist, but we don't have to stop to show you how Shazam will eventually become part of the Justice League or associated with them somehow.
Oh
This is
yeah.
not
Yeah.
the
They decided to
Marvel
do the thing.
yeah, this is not the MCU where you gotta give you a full reason why this character exists. You know what I mean?
Right.
Captain Marvel, right?
Right.
But what is Shazam about, Ricardo? Take it away.
Yeah. So we have this kid who got lost, separated from his mom. He kind of get end up in the foster care system, and he joins a family, very caring foster care family. Then he gets into by with an encountered bullies. He gets into accidental meeting a wizard who gives him superpowers and turns him into a grown ass man, a la Tom Hanks Big.
Yes.
And basically, he, he finds out that he is connected to a larger world, and somebody else who was searching for the magic powers was introduced early on, also looking for it as well, and he have to protect his foster family with these powers, and well, the city of Philadelphia as well. That's
Yes.
Captain Marvel. I didn't expect this to skew so young, but it's pretty good still.
It is.
So
It is. It is.
yeah,
Not the
I
best
didn't expect this.
DCEU movie in the world, not the best superhero movie in the world, but for what they set out to
Um,
do,
yeah,
it's great. It's really entertaining.
yeah, I still put it about as high as yeah, it's a little under Wonder Woman for me.
Yeah, like
Um,
it's for me it's above Aquaman but under Wonder Woman.
right, they're above Aquaman as well. It's a little more coherent than Aquaman.
Yeah,
Um,
unless goofy, dumb
right,
Santa Monica cartoon
right.
like
But
Aquaman
this
was.
one, I thought didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to. Well, it did. It catered to such a young audience, but I really didn't expect it to cater to such a young audience. Like I thought it would have been like, oh well, it's a Marvel movie. Nope, it's more like a early Harry Potter movie.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
really
You're
felt
right.
like for me, I was like, wow, this real too young though. But then they decided to go dark in certain areas, and it's like, all right, well, it's not that young then, but it's like, no, it's more like a 80s Goonies kind of thing going on here,
You're right.
where
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
you would show some dark shit. Like that one kill in particular, it was like, wow, that's surprisingly dark with the woman who touched the door. Like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like,
Like,
you want to just tone it back a little bit? This is
yeah, 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 I
little
was
too
surprised at
much.
that. And then I'll say the big emotional beats were rough, but because the editing, the major structural edit wasn't so good, I thought that needed some tweaking. those major beats didn't hit as well. Because like it felt like the film just kind of stopped dead to address some of that stuff, in my opinion.
Well, I felt so as well. It really did feel
Yeah, I
like
like
one
this.
particular moment involving the main character, Billy Batson. It really does feel like the movie just kind of stops and have to
Yeah, because you have
show
big
you
emotions.
like shot wise to lead you
Right,
into it, but just like okay,
right,
you literally did stop the show to have this moment happen.
right. And it's still a good moment. But and it's a real powerful moment emotionally. But I thought, all right, yeah, but you had a big event just happen. Like, holy shit, you're gonna really focus on that?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the
I
lead
think
up to um that should have been improved. The lead up to it. Because
right,
like
that was
something
a
big happens and then it just kind of stops and you
right,
somehow had
and
to
then,
try and lead into this big moment basically
right.
with Billy.
But then the all the good moments, especially when he first becomes Shazam, and it had a lot of great situations with that for me. And I was like, all right, well, finally we're gonna get some stuff well done. And I thought they nailed a lot of that. Frankly, they nailed the relationship between Shazam when Zachary Levi and I forget the boy's name, the crippled boy, no. Uh,
Frederick. No, sorry.
right.
Frederick, yeah.
Yeah, when they had the two of them working together, that was like the best stuff in the movie because it runs through all these silly scenarios that the general hijinks that these kind of characters would get into, right? And I enjoy all of that. The action itself was pretty good. I enjoy a lot of the fighting. Savannah was an okay villain, but I could have do more with him. I felt. Um, because I think what I would have do is I probably would have cut out the Seven Deadly Sins part of that and just have him be powerful and just have it be Savannah. But whatever, I don't know. And then I would say the ending I liked a lot. Like when especially when Megan Good is in the movie. Like, yeah,
I
Megan Good
know,
in this movie.
right? I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
And she
oh,
ended up
hey,
and the
look,
character,
former B is
you know,
actually in this movie. Look at that.
but the moment with her with what they do with her and with some other characters, I thought that was really good. Like, and I knew it was coming. You could have seen it visually line up, like how the characters are standing and line up and the color coding of the characters. So like, yeah, okay, they're clearly gonna do this thing. Right? Because like,
Right.
if you're familiar with any of the comics, you know they're gonna do this thing, and because it's Jeff Johns had a run, they clearly following the Jeff Johns run, so it's that. But then I was like, all right, cool. What are they gonna do with it? And then they nail it. That last sequence was so well done for me.
It
Just
was, yes.
really
Really
fun.
enjoyed that.
Really enjoyed it. They had a bunch of Shazam deep cuts going through the storyline. So they had Talkie Tony, if you know who that is. Like if you know what to look for, they had Talkie Tony, and then we had a pretty obvious Black Adam cameo in the early part of it. I was like, ah, cool, I see all of that.
I did not pick up on it because
Well,
I'm not
I saw it because I
familiar
was
with
like,
the world or the lore
right,
story of Shazam, so I didn't pick up on it.
right. I saw it. I was like, oh, that's clearly Black Adam. All right, cool. But the Talkie Tony was a slightly deeper cut. And then they had what do you call it by I forget which is Mr. Mind. That was in the shot at the beginning. I was like, hey, they know Mr. Mind. Okay, they're going with that. And then they had the post credit scene. It's like, yes, Mr. Mind, great. Uh and yeah, they just kind of nailed it, frankly. I thought, in terms of like what the look is, the world building, the realistic part of the grounded character piece part of it, where yeah, it's about family and what family means, and all these little dumb jokes that they did about what a 14-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy would think like, and it worked. I really can't be mad with any of this in that sense. Um, I'm just gonna straight up say it. Yeah, the Snyder vision done. It did. Like they
Yeah.
straight up had like to me a scene that they had that just come across like a straight up fuck you to Batman with Superman. That was
Oh yes. That
you
was
boy.
I know you're talking about. It's a conversation
Yeah,
scene.
I was
That
wow.
I was clapping at that. That was like so genius.
Yeah.
When I looked at it, sorry to cut you. When I was looking at it, I was like, the MCU could have make fun of this. Deadpool could have made fun of this, but no, it had
Yeah.
to be the DCU. And yeah, it have to be them.
Well,
It have to be them.
I remember the MCU. I remember the MCU did make fun of Man of Steel to a certain extent with Age of Ultron. The whole saving people thing now.
Yeah.
But that wasn't still a big issue for me. And then it's only until Batman v Superman came along, I was like, yeah, all right, that was like a total shit the bed movie. So when they did that, I was like, all right, cool. That's what you had to be doing with this going forward. And yeah, that was like a straight up fuck you. Like a straight up fuck you to that movie. Like, wow, okay. Um, I thought they nailed it. The way they did everything. Oh, a movie it also kind of reminded me of as well as Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes. You are right.
Especially that last.
The kid who is so enamored by being a superhero and eventually learns that there's, well, responsibility involved, right?
Right. And they did the last shot. That last shot of the film was like just felt like they copied Spider-Man Homecoming, especially the ending and the credits as well. It's like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of Spider-Man.
the animation style, which I love, by the
And,
way.
uh,
Yeah,
and
but
that
instantly I
last
was thinking Spider-Man Homecoming.
right, and they had that last shot involving a certain DC character.
Yes, yes, yes.
A sharp cut to black because a
Yeah,
funny joke.
yeah. And they
And
did that. I loved how smart that scene was. Doesn't
right,
draw a lot of attention, but it's like,
well, it's
oh,
funny.
and then cut to black.
It's funny because it's a kind of another fuck you because the character's head is off camera. So, like, all right,
Yes, yes, yes. I
yeah,
see we get it. Yeah.
yep. I there's a right direction in my opinion. Especially, but at least for Shazam, this is exactly what they'll be doing. Whilst Aquaman was trash, but my kind of trash, and Wonder Woman was like exactly what you have to do for at least for a first movie with the material. I thought this is how you have to do this character. This is how you have to put it forward. I thought Zachary Levi really felt like, to me, he felt like the adult version of the kid. He didn't just feel like some adult version of some kid. He felt like the adult version of that kid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yes.
I got that from him. That's what at least I got it from. It's like, yeah, this was good. And then they ran through all the great scenarios of what it is to be a superhero. It was good. They had a little joke with Big with the piano thing. That was funny. Savannah,
a little too on the nose though, but if you, well, I would say if you never watch Big or you don't know that reference, even though even if you never saw Big, you know that scene, right? But if you never knew it, then you'll still find it funny all the same.
Right. And yeah, I didn't have any major problems with this other than like some of the little, little editing sequences in the structural edit. But for what they did, I was like, all right, cool. Especially if they're gonna continue the Jeff Johns approach, then it's most likely gonna be pretty goddamn awesome. Going forward, because as a first film, it works. And I always judge a first film a little easier because you have to set up your world and do your thing, and then outside I'll be a little harsher with the sequel. But I just really enjoyed what they did. They had a great tone, a great style. Everybody was on the point with the beats. Everybody is acting the roles that they should be acting, especially the kids. I thought the kids was great, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this for what it was. I really had a good time with this one.
Yeah. I totally agree with you as well, man. This was a breath of fresh air in terms of just the seriousness of superhero movies these days. You know what I mean? And it didn't have to be all meta, like say a Deadpool or a Deadpool 2. You know what I mean? It just came and did its thing. While I tried to go in blind as possible, so it did. I was a little worried as to where the story was going, the pacing of it, especially in the first act. But once the ball started rolling, I was like, okay, I'm on board now. Performances, Zachary Levy, fantastic as Shazam. You really do get the whole I'm a grown ass boy, basically that vibe, especially with his like just youthful facial features and stuff like that. The way how he talks, the way how he acts, great as well. The moment with him learning his powers was fantastic. I love the montage for it. It feels very, very, very modern. Just the way how a kid who becomes a superhero and his friend who happens to have a small digital camera would play it out there. Even right down to him uploading the videos on YouTube, I was like, yes, this is exactly what a 40-year-old kid will be doing if he knew his friends had powers like that. You know what I mean?
It had that same working plausibility that Spider-Man Homecoming had. Like, it had a silver purpose, but it really felt like it looked like kids in this world now. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, right. Go ahead.
And the subject of kids in this world, I love, just that aspect of the film itself where you really do feel like, yeah, this is how kids or at least, Billy's case, he have to be quick on his feet. He has to know how to, adapt and move to certain situations. You're not going to just set up and wait for an adult to hold his hand and tell him what to do. He will avoid certain situations. He will run. He will do whatever. He will just always do what he can to just to survive, basically. And he didn't do it in this grim, gritty kind of way. You know what I mean? But you understand where Billy's character comes in, like where he will just do what he had to do to just live. So even when he's with the foster family, by the way, I really love the foster family, and this
Yeah.
it really do they do feel like a real
The guy
family,
was
even though
the guy, the father. I know him from somewhere. I call him the Asian Greg Gotfield because he was in a bunch of other shows. I think he was in
he is in Walking Dead. He plays Jerry.
right. But I
Unfortunately, he's
remember
alive right now. He isn't dead.
right.
He's
I
not dead yet.
remember him I remember him from Halt and Cash Fire. That's what I remember him from. But
Okay,
he's been
okay.
a bunch of other cameo movies, and I call him the Asian Greg Gotfield now. Because it's like that. He just show up in a role. He's that guy.
Oh,
Um,
right. Okay, okay.
right.
For a second, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought he was referring to his voice or something. All right,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but I thought that he was
Mother
just so
School.
yeah, him and the mother. First time I seen her in that movie, but I thought that she, apart from her being rather attractive,
Right.
both of them just really felt like warm, sweet, compassionate parents. Though.
Yeah.
Like that, and they didn't overreact to every single
And
every
it
single
did,
thing.
they did what I like too is that they did the simple world building of having them be also former foster people. And cool. That's
Yeah,
great. And they get into the personality aspect of family and what family is, especially with that big emotional beat, in the beginning of the third act.
yes.
With that now. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, cool.
The kids themselves, the other kids took a while it took a while for them to grow on me for one thing.
Right.
I thought it was just gonna be generic, kind of slightly annoying kids who don't
Right.
meet. I mean, they're not trying to tick you off, but they just say and do things. They're just so childlike, like.
Right.
I just shut up, please. You know what I mean? But they did
Right.
grow on me, and I did end up liking them. Especially the little girl, the black girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she was nice, man. She was nice, and then
Right.
well, big
Yeah.
reveal of who she really is in terms of the whole Shazam universe. Like, wow, okay.
Right.
That
Right.
in itself, I did not anticipate because, yes, believe it or I mean, Suma, but I don't know much about the Shazam universe. So it was good that they brought it in, how they tied it into like what the original Shazam said. I thought that was really great. And speaking about the original Shazam, Jaiman Hansu
Yeah, he was good.
still getting that DCEU and Marvel money, Jen. So
Right.
just like in
So,
Marvel, he was play. I think he played either the same character, well, in Captain Marvel and Guardians, or he played two different
yeah,
characters.
the
But
same
I
character.
know, yeah, but I know for DCEU, he played a character in Aquaman, and now he showed
Aquaman,
up in Shazam. So man, just
okay, so
paying that money.
I don't know exactly if this is true, but I swear that it was supposed to be Reggie Cat. He was supposed to be the wizard.
Oh,
I
really?
swear that Reggie Cat was
Um, I didn't. No. When the first trailer came out, I think somebody said somebody had mentioned that there was going to
right,
be him. Because remember,
right,
we didn't know who he was. Though. We didn't know who the actor was playing him. So I think
right,
it's either before the first trailer came out, he was hearing
right.
talk about
But they
Reggie
didn't
Kathy was
shoot anything.
playing. Yeah,
They
but
didn't shoot
even
anything.
yeah, but even when the first and second trailer come out, I didn't pick up. Oh, it's him. It's Jaimon. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
The only thing I was kind of didn't like is his beard. Beard looked a little fake. It's kind
dude,
of
the wig
moving
look
his
fake.
mouth.
The wig look fake.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
kind
wig.
of.
Yeah, wig and the beard. I was like,
But the beard
yeah,
they put
that's
yeah,
really
just
fake. Yeah.
so like, all right, so they could do a little better makeup with that. Whatever.
Yeah. But
But I like it.
what I particularly liked about his character is that he was hammy, but not too hammy. It
Right. It was
worked for the purpose of the show, which
yeah,
is that kind of lightheartedness. So he had to come off a little weird and eccentric, but
yeah,
it's almost like he have to be that way to get it into Billy's subconscious. Like, yes, you have to do this. So if I have to be the kooky old man with the staff and the shiny logo on my chest, that's what I had to
yeah,
do. You know what I mean? I thought he handled that very well, and he really did
yeah.
show his acting chops. It wasn't like he was just delegated to just trade out corny lines because he's the crazy old wizard, right? Um, the world building I thought was pretty good. I like that they incorporated a lot of Philadelphia, even right out to throwing a Rocky reference. I was like, of course they had to. They had to, right?
Yeah.
Um, the grounded realism I thought worked as well. How people responded to Shazam. They was like, "Oh my God, who is this crazy guy?" Like the first time like he gets his suit, people are giggling and laughing, and afterwards,
Yeah.
when he starts doing his powers and he becomes popular, yeah, they kind of look at him as his hero. You know what I mean? They don't stop the kind of. This is one thing I really like too. They didn't have to stop the movie to show him solving certain crimes and saving a bunch of people, and
Right,
now he becomes a hero. You know, in like this Spider-Man esque montage. I talk about the 2002 Spider-Man movie, better, right?
right,
I like that they didn't have to do that. Um, but I like how suddenly the responsibility came in for Billy. You know how you have this power, but you have a responsibility, yeah, responsibility to it. And that's how the build up to it is like, gosh, boy, Billy, boy, but you promised the man you'd do this straight, and you did taking pictures and being this goof. Like, come on, man,
right,
straight. So, he really did drop the ball there, which works for the character, and you
right.
saw how it kind of comes back to catch him, right? Uh, if I have one gripe with the show, though, unfortunately, it's not the dark tone. I actually was surprised, and I really do praise the dark tone. Uh, there were moments, especially involving these demonic creatures, where I thought like, okay, there's gonna be all edgelord with it and just be all very shock value there, like how.
Right.
Because yes, it does get violent, right? Like really shocking, not shockingly so,
Yeah,
but
yeah, a couple
more
moments. Like
surprisingly so.
the scene in the boardroom
Yeah,
was
indeed,
fun.
yeah, that boardroom scene, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so that's where we going, right? But
right,
I
right.
chalk that up to, you have to have your bad guy. The bad guy have to be medicine, even if he have his goons to do it for him. But this
Right.
is the gripe that I have, right? So as much as I really do like Mark Strong, I really think he's a great actor. I love him in Kick-Ass, by the way. Loved him even
Yeah,
more in the Kingsman movies. But here, boy, he was just
yeah, it was kind
standard
of high.
generic villain 101, you know what I mean? And
Right.
here's the
Yeah.
problem, though. They had a great setup for him. A great setup. But like when you
Yeah.
think
The
about it,
villain
it's
was
like,
good.
wait,
Yeah.
you with the success that you have and what your dad have. And by the way, did not expect to see John Glover in this shit. Like,
Yeah.
holy
And
shit, John Glover
he's
in this
lying,
shit.
lying to himself, eh?
You know,
Yeah.
like once again, although he's more like a sheepish version of Lionel. Like, why are
Right.
you doing this? No, please, like that little appearance when he was there. But it's like you still had that grudge, right? Like you still thinking about
Right.
that moment, like that's still fueling you to just suddenly go on this crusade to find the wizard. And once you find that out, now I have this particular power. And first
Right.
thing I
This is
have
a
to do
problem.
is take it out on my father and my brother, who basically used to, uh, you know, hate not so much hate on me, but berate you and stuff like that when you were younger. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Make
Find
you
there's
feel
a weak
less of what you were. Yeah.
roots. It was pretty
And while
weak. Yeah.
yeah, while I understand character wise, especially with him being a child and what happened to him then, as a man, it's like, dog, just you have powers, right? Like grow up, just grow up, right?
But I think even before he got his powers, he was like, he's working. He was like, yeah, he's a doctor and super successful and whatnot. So it's like, I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You
They
still
could have do
like
more with that. I don't know.
you used to like, you know, wait till my back when I was a kid. He make me feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't belong in this world. It's like, no, come on, man, come on, right?
Right. I agree.
I do like what they did with him in the like leading up to the third act, especially when things started to get way more intense for for Shazam himself. And yeah,
Right.
the final fight was excellent. It really had many intimacy when the other characters show up. It was great, you just really great fun scene, sequence, I should say. And that's how it all comes together. In the end was it was really strong, So at the end of the day, it just comes out to the powerful team of family, and that what really makes this film stand out. So while it's not entirely 100% family friendly, it still has a really solid message about the importance of family, and
Yeah.
regardless of if it's if it's by blood or if it's by just being associated with that person, that kind of vibe there,
Right.
So
Right.
I really love that. That was a great team. And I love how they set up the sequel, hopefully, uh, still within the world of Shazam, still with these sort of
Right.
weird characters,
If
but
it's somewhat
it's
familiar
Shazam.
with, yeah, if it's somewhat familiar with the Jeff Johns run, if they're doing that, then the sequels will be pretty awesome. If you can make fucking 7 movies over that shit alone,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
they're good.
So
Them good with this. This do good, and them sequels go do good once you stick to that. Yeah, so all of that stuff is really insane, but very fun. So I'd
yeah,
like to see what they can do with that. Yeah.
yeah, and overall, this is what I loved about it. It was fun. It was dark. It was over the top, but not too much. It grounded itself in reality. It wasn't trying to be a Man of Steel or a Wonder Woman or prior any of the prior DCU movies. It was telling its
Yeah.
own thing. It had a really charismatic lead, and of course even more charismatic when he becomes Shazam himself. And just great performances, especially the kid actors themselves. Guy who plays Billy, I thought that he was excellent, as well
Yeah.
as Freddy. Like at
Yeah.
first, I was thinking Freddy was going to just piss me off because he just cracking all
Yeah.
these like dumb jokes and me and all this. But I know more about superhero stuff, you know what I mean? But how they
Right.
worked
Right.
that into the story, I thought that was great. I thought that was great. So
All right.
yeah, this was a
Great.
breath of fresh air for me. Really, really enjoyed it. As way more than I expected to be honest. While I would say this is the best thing I've seen superhero wise, I'll leave it that for the big movie 2 weeks from now. This was a nice little I don't even want to call it a palate cleanser because that would be like saying that would be like a term I'd use for something like Ant-Man, or
Right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp within the MCU, for example. But in terms of superhero movies in general, this was like, yeah, we could have fun. We could be goofy and silly, but still have great characters and yeah, powerful message.
Right.
So for me, this gets a lighter, decent format. This is definitely
Yeah.
worth checking out on the big screen. I still, yeah, like at the moment, as far as DCEU movies go, I would say this is one of the best thus far, which is really saying a lot. I
Right.
would put this above Aquaman, but right under Wonder Woman. So yeah, this is like a step in the right direction for the
Yeah.
DCU. I really want to see Shazam in more movies. I really do like this character now that this movie is out. And yeah, at the moment, hopefully the sky's the limit for the DCU. You know what I mean? So I really can't wait to see what they put on next.
Yeah. As I said,
What's your rate?
yeah. The whole Dark Snydery paradigm kind of dead now. This is the final nail in the coffin, which is a good thing. I mean, it's something that could have worked, but Snyder, you done fucked it up. So too
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah, yes, he did.
Um,
Unfortunately, he did, but yeah.
Right. So I frankly thought they nailed this because even its problems was still kind of charming and it wasn't something I had a problem with necessarily. And again, because the film skewed so young, it works. Like I could if I was a kid, if I was 8 years old, I would have loved this. Pretty sure. Um,
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely.
you knew who to cater to. I'd like to think of this film. This is kind of like what Bumblebee is to the Transformers films. It's that.
Okay, okay.
And
Good,
that's what
good,
I think
good,
about
good
it.
call. Yeah, good reference
Right.
there. Yeah.
That's what I think about it. It's just, you're doing a rehaul and you're kind of getting back to why this shit works in the first place and who exactly is this for. And yeah, I get this one a low IMAX. It works quite well. It's not perfect. It's a little rough around the edges, special effects and all small things like that, but nothing major. And I just thoroughly enjoyed the experience as a whole. Humor worked, again, for its audience. And yeah, we haven't had something as well done in this way for superhero films, not since probably Spider-Man, right? That's
Yeah, you're right. The first Spider-Man, not that
yeah, the
that god awful amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
not that bullshit, no. Yeah, so I dug it for what it was. So cool, man.
All right. So Ricardo, where can we find you online?
So at RMEDDY, that is at RMEDdy on Twitter, and then you could type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook, you'll find me there.
All right. On Twitter, you could find me at Bear Beat Bailey. That's Bear Beat and Bailey. Sorry, Bear Beat Bailey. On Instagram, just look for Bears Beats and Bailey. On Facebook, just look for my name, Matthew Bailey, along with Illegally Black Blog official fan base, where you find a link to this podcast as well as the others that we've done over the past few years, including retrospect reviews.